Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely November the 1st, the first part of November, and it's almost toward the end of the year. We are about almost a year away to the election in 2024, and black people are starting to really make me smile. Now, I was going to talk about Sheila Jackson Lee, but I had to put that on pause because of some videos that came out of Chicago. Now, you know, we have been talking about the migrant crisis in Chicago, how Brandon Johnson and the Democrats have been choosing to handle this at the expense of black Americans. Black Americans have been standing up and been saying, no, this is not about to be business as usual. You're not about to take resources from us and give it to people who aren't voting, who aren't citizens, who don't pay taxes, who don't do nothing in this city. I want you to hear in this video, and I'm so proud and so happy with these three videos I want you to hear. There are three different people. One sister, Carter Trust, the one you've been seeing, have been coming out a lot lately. Listen to what she has to say. There's another sister behind her and a third one. And after you listen to, those videos, we're just going to come behind and just, pull out some of the points that they're making. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Let's talk about the money that is being spent. I think that there needs to be a federal audit against the company that we have contracted out to take care of the migrants. We have nurses that are being paid $64,000 a month. We have security officers that are being paid as much as $24,000 a month. We have home health care workers that are being paid up to $17,000 a month. You don't think that Chicagoans could have benefited from that? We have citizens in this city that have been on the waiting list for affordable housing for years, and migrants have been bumped in front of them. We have people who have been given up to $9,000 a month for housing assistance. That amount of money can be life-changing for some families here in the city of Chicago. We are not anti-migrant. We do sympathize with them. But what I am pro-black. I am for my people who have been mistreated, who have been marginalized, who have been disrespected. And it is disrespectful for people to expect us to give up our parks and our schools and places in our community for others. We're not saying that there's not room here, but what we are saying is that we are not going to step aside for you to accommodate them when you have continued to leave us out of the equation. So I'm not just talking to Brandon Johnson right now. I'm talking to Governor Pritzker, and I'm talking to President Biden. And I want you to understand that as we run into this upcoming political year, where the Democratic Party is on the menu, hear me. People of Chicago, of Illinois, and of the United States, it is time for us as black people to stop voting party. Come on. It is time for us to stop voting color. It is time for us to start voting our self-interest. And if the Democrats in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and the country of USA refuses to listen to us, then it is time for us to start looking at other alternatives. People, we are looking at other alternatives. We will not step aside and continue to be mistreated. We will not continue to be disrespected. I'm looking at people who are coming here from another country, given work visas, given social security cards. Nobody is asking them what walk of life that they come from. You don't think that our brothers who have been in prison, who have come out and who have changed their lives will benefit for the same opportunities that we're giving these migrants? And I'm not saying that they don't deserve those opportunities, but what I am saying is we deserve them first. What I am saying is you can't continue to put us on the back burner and think that we're going to continue to be okay with it. We've done that for long enough. And what we're saying here today is that is no longer acceptable. We're saying to our city, we're saying to our governor that you're not going to continue to set monies aside for people who don't live here and disrespect, mistreat, and forget about us. You've forgotten about us. You have treated us as if we don't matter. And we're saying to you, you're not going to continue to do this. We're saying to you to see us. You're dumping people into our communities who are going to at some point move us out of the way. And what I say to you, if you want a glimpse into what's going to happen, look at how people of color are being treated in Venezuela right now. We seem to forget that Venezuela was one of the first places that had African slaves that they were taken to. We're forgetting about that. And so we're forgetting that there are blacks in Venezuela who are being treated the same way we are. And so for us to expect that they're going to come here and be put into our society and treat us differently is a pipe dream.
It's Jessica Jackson, and I'm a member of the community over here on the south side. I want to say that this problem is bigger than any alderman that's sitting in city council. This is an attack on the black community by the Democratic Party, and it's an attack on the citizens of this city. Our rights are being violated. Our civil rights are being violated. There is no law that allows for non-citizens to come into our communities, force themselves into our communities, force themselves into public accommodations, force themselves into schools that could have been open for our children. The constant discrimination against black people has to stop. I'm at the city council meetings all the time. I have yet to see any black official, any Hispanic official, any white official stand up and say that this is a violation against the civil rights of our citizens in this city or the citizens in the United States of America. We had an incident day before yesterday with a young man named Michael Young Bay who was doing what many of you are doing right now, filming in a public building in City Hall, filming a public official, Alderman Greg Mitchell. Greg Mitchell did not like being filmed, and he made an aggressive attack on Michael. Michael went to jail. He went to jail because he asked to file a report on Greg Mitchell. Now, we all witnessed a few days before then where the Brighton community had an attack against that alderman. No arrests were made. We all witnessed when the Palestinians were protesting in City Hall about the war between Palestine and Israel. We witnessed them jumping and fighting the police. No arrest was made. It's all anchored in the fact that those people, they have a whole different political platform than black people do. Those people have protections from their countries. They have embassies, they have consulates, the United States is in treaties with these people, all kind of deals. So America handles them lightly. Black America only has the United States of America for our government, and our government is failing us. We fought for the civil rights laws in this country. We fought for the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. We fought for the freedoms of this country, and yet we're the last ones that's reaping the benefits of it. I was told by our alderman, Stephanie Coleman, that the money for the Southwest Side Invest, the $320 million that's supposed to be earmarked, which we later found out was $2.2 billion. She tells me that that money is a hoax. Well, if it's a joke, you need to go find our real money. Because there's no way in the world that the black citizens of this city does not have real money in the pot of the city of Chicago. Where's our money? Why are we constantly being told that things have to be studied? reparation has to be studied. Reparations was in order since 1865. How much studying must the Democratic Party do?
Yeah.
Where's our money? Where's the money for the economic development of our communities? Why is it that we're being put in a position for the immigrants to come into our community? They're going to get money, and they're going to get money to open small businesses. And they're going to open those small businesses in these communities. And then our people are going to be forced to buy from them after they've invaded our country and invaded our neighborhoods. We say no to all of this. We say no to all of this. And we're asking that the governor stop demanding, thank you for the correction, we're demanding that Governor Christopher, that he exercise his governor rights, like we see the Florida governor exercising his. We see the Texas governor exercising his. But now when you get to Illinois, all of a sudden, our governor can't do anything except for acceptance. Is he a man or a mouse? We want what's entitled to us in this country. We're demanding that Governor Prisoner turn those buses around. We're demanding that Brandon Johnson stop allowing those Hispanic aldermen, the deputy mayor of immigration, migrants, and refugees, I believe her last name is De Leon, and that DeSantis, why are they not speaking about this? Because they too are monetarily benefiting from it. People need to stop getting rich off the back of black people and give us our rights and give us our money.
Block or two from here, we have a relative that was murdered. I'm standing here with my family, and we are demanding. We are not asking anyone for anything. We are demanding that resources come to the black community. We are no longer asking. Black people are the most loving, the most accepting, the most honorable people. We are people of dignity. Many of us have followed the rules, have done what we were told is the right thing. But we keep getting overlooked. And our children and the youth keep getting overlooked. And it's past time that it stops. This is ridiculous. We are citizens. We are citizens of the city. We are still dealing with violence. We are dealing with health crisis. We're dealing with high levels of unemployment. We can run the whole gamut, and every time that there's a list of negative things, we're at the top of the list. But when it's a list of good things, positive things, we're at the bottom of the list. Or you can say the front of the line or the back of the line. We're not standing here begging for anything. We say no when it's time to vote the budget for any additional resources other than for the black community. We say no. What do we say? No. What do we say? No. We say no. No. We say absolutely not. Not as long as we still have to bury our children. How is it that we're going to talk about the future of children, and I get that children are children, but how are we going to talk about the future of one set of children and bury the other set? And the ones that are being buried are the descendants and the offspring, children of the citizens. It makes no sense. And we're talking to the aldermen and anyone else that have anything to do with the vote. We say no. We demand the resources now. And you know what? This ain't the first press conference. We understand that. And you probably don't even take what we say as serious. But you know what? Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So we are standing here. We are standing here on behalf of our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. And you know what? And yes, I'm upset. I have dedicated my life working with children and youth. And if I can't stand up for them, then I need to sit down somewhere. Say it. If I can't stand up for those babies that I talk to on a regular basis and tell them what they ought to be doing, then I need to sit down. Amen. So we are serious. We want the resources, and we want them now. No waiting, no studies, no commission. You know what to do. You can sign an executive order on anything else. Sign the order, whatever is needed, whatever's necessary to bring the resources to the black community. Yes. Period.
Now, first of all, let me go ahead on and give a big hand clap to our sisters and brothers in Chicago. Now, the reason why I'm so happy about this is because if y'all listened to everything they said, they wasn't quoting Boule talking points. They wasn't doing the Democrat mantra. They was talking like us. Let me tell you something. When I tell you what we do is very important, that's what I'm talking about. Everything they said about not needing studies, that didn't come from the mainstream. That came from us. When they talk about prioritizing black Americans and doing for black Americans, that didn't come from the mainstream DNC. That came from us. Everything they were saying, the spirit in prioritizing black America, it came from us in the grassroots media. All of us who do this. This is why the grassroots media is very, very important. And why on the podcast last night, do you understand why I said that one of the most important things that we got to do is download the app that we have, the African Diaspora News Channel app, where we can make sure to keep these messages going, because you better understand the Democrats don't like this. Joe Biden and them don't like that messaging, because to them, that's going to get them voted out. Do you hear y'all talk about me all the time saying, oh, well, he's a shield for the Republicans and this and that. So I guess they shields too, or they got common sense to see that the Democrat Party, as like the sister said, is an attack by the Democrat Party on black people. And they're saying it's not about Brandon Johnson. How many times I told y'all that? Don't make it about Brandon Johnson. Make it about the Democrats. And they're saying the exact same things. You see? Because they're seeing it. See, y'all say that what we do is insignificant. Oh, y'all just talking on the internet. Well, we're talking common sense. Because if we was talking tomfoolery, if we was just being a clown, then people would see real quick that we're clowns. You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't be repeating nothing we're saying. What we're talking about, we understand the pulse of black America. We have a lot of common sense, and we understand what's happening to black America, and it's going to be on us to save black America. No one's going to come and save us but us. And as the sister Carter has said, we got to stop voting party and vote interest. And whatever person has our interest, that's who we vote for. See, that emotionalism by that Democrat Party is starting to leave because of the pain that black people is experiencing at the hands of the Democrat Party. You understand? One thing that one of the other sister talked about, I think the one after her, she made a good point, and I've talked about this before. She said about how the one brother that was filming and how they just put him in jail and attacked him. But when these other groups, when they had pressed that alderman that came out there when they were protesting the Hispanics and Asians, that they didn't arrest him, they didn't do them anything. And that sister pointed out that these other groups have embassies and nation states behind them, so they're real careful how they handle them. And that's the truth. All these groups who immigrate here, they got an embassy. No matter what country they come from, they have an embassy. They have treaties with the United States. The United States doing deals with them. This is why they leave them alone. This is why they don't sabotage them like they sabotage us. You understand? And like that sister said, it is the truth. As black Americans, we are alone. We don't have nobody to advocate for black America except black America. Even Africans, Caribbeans, they have nation states. They have embassies in the United States of America. So that's why they're not going to go and attack Africans like we are attacked. They're not going to attack Caribbeans like we are attacked, especially if they know that's what they are. But they're going to always attack us and demonize us because we are alone. But that's okay. We don't need nobody but ourselves. When we are on code, we change the world. We have shown that so many times. With no nation states backing us up, with nobody supporting us, we do it on our own. And because people know when we on code and do things on our own, we get things done. People are upset that we won't get involved with their fights and their struggles no more. They are upset. People are upset because we're not advocating and speaking up about anything but ourselves, our fight, and our plight. They are literally trying to fight black people, as we saw in Chicago with these Palestinian protesters trying to fight the black Hebrew Israelites because they don't want to get involved in anything, right? Everybody want our opinion. What's your opinion on the situation? You need to have an opinion. Just like last night on the podcast, right? I did a little live last night. Had somebody come in the chat say, I know you see what's going on. Yeah, I see it like everybody else see it. Well, you can't just stay quiet about it. No, you staying quiet is like being a coward to the situation. No, it's not. Everybody else is talking about it. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Newsmax, New York Times, Washington Post, everybody's talking about it. I don't have to say a word. My community don't have to say anything. We're focusing on Chicago. That's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on Houston. We're going to focus on Atlanta. We're going to focus on Baltimore. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to focus on issues in Black America. And then that, like I said before, we're going to focus on what's going on in the diaspora. That's what we're going to do. We don't have to talk about nobody's issue because when we wanted to be allies with all these other groups, they gave us their proverbial butt to kiss every single time. We have learned our lesson. We don't want no coalition no more. The only coalition we want is the coalition within our own community. That's it. We want to solve our issues and problems. You heard that sister say it also about money going to the black community. Say, hey, you don't need for us, it's a study. But for everybody else, executive order, what does it say? Start writing them. You doing it for everybody else. Boy, I tell y'all, listen to me. We understand the pulse of Black America. We understand it because we see it, because we are a part of it. Listen, Boule Martin and the gang, they don't understand because they're not the part of the Black America like the rest of us are. Boule Martin and the gang is prancing on stage with Belle Biv DeVoe. That's what they're doing. They're not looking at what's going on in Black America, and then they can't understand why people are clowning them or saying, dude, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Black folks is going to get somewhere with this kind of language. Black people are going to finally make a change in Black America talking like that and thinking like that. When Black America prioritize interest over party, when you prioritize your economics over anything else as well, like these other groups that came into this country and focused on building up their economics first, like we always did in our community, we always focus on economics, business creation, entrepreneurship. If we following the lead of our ancestors, entrepreneurship and business creation is how our ancestors did it. At one point in time, our ancestors couldn't get no job from nobody. They had to have their own farms. They started their own dry cleaners, hotels, movie theaters, auto repair shops, restaurants. Black people work for themselves. We understand the Democrat Party is not for black people being entrepreneurs. They're for black people being at the bottom and not having nothing. They for you just being an employee to Walmart, which don't pay you anything. At least with the other side, they pro-business, which can help the black community because we want to take advantage of reduced taxes. We want to take advantage of business opportunities that we are focusing on now. Because see, one thing y'all understand, it was a shift in the pandemic. In the pandemic, they recorded black people created more businesses than any other group in this country. What did the Democrats and Biden do? Immediately after black people created all those businesses, he went to weaponize the IRS and sit up there and reduce the reporting from $20,000 for small businesses to $600. Democrats did that. Biden did that. Walmart, Target, Amazon don't use Venmo and Cash App for anything. Only people who are low income, middle class, or considered, and when I say poor or middle class, use those services. You think Jeff Bezos is using Venmo and Cash App? No. He's using credit cards. That's what he's using. He's probably a Centurion card member easily with American Express. So why do you think that will target him? You think Elon Musk is using Cash App? No. You think Bill Gates is using Venmo? No. But yet the Democrats are supposed to be for the people. But yet you're for the people. Why are you attacking them and giving all this money to the IRS to weaponize it against those people? See, this is more, and I'm hearing more and more black people, male and female, pushing business creation, and I'm so proud of our people. We have stopped talking about careers and getting a job for the folks and getting our own business, our own corporations. I'm so happy with our people. And more because our people moving to that, that's why Democrats don't work for us too much no more, on top of them sabotaging and stealing resources from the black man and woman of America. Black people are tired. We're not going to sit up here and be quiet about you stealing resources from the black man and woman. Black people in Chicago have been the most loudest group, and I'm proud of them, and I support them. I support them because what they're saying needs to be spoken of in every major city in America that is this happening to. New York, where you at? Where's our people in New York talking? Chicago has been really speaking. Y'all been quiet. Well, also I've heard about New York too. I know a lot about brothers and sisters in New York, but New York is immigrant central. So where's our brothers and sisters? Are you so scared to stand up and speak? Well, where you at? Now, we seen the people in Staten Island saying something, but I'm talking about black people, black Americans who built the country. Where are you at? Chicago can't be the only city. They shouldn't be out here left alone speaking up on this issue. But we're going to be all right. I always tell you that if we stay on code like this and we let the Democrats know you don't have our vote like that and you are in trouble in 2024, because we have seen you do for everybody. Biden sitting up here asking for more money. He want money for Ukraine, Israel. He want money for everybody else. But he can't advocate no money for you. Brandon Johnson is putting migrants all in shelters, like they say, spending all kind of money. But when I told y'all when I was in Chicago and I saw that little young sister that reminded me of my daughter out on them streets, like I said, that got me angry. The migrants left their homeland to come up here and taking a place from that little sister or some brother who's citizens of this country. You prioritize everybody else over the citizens of this country, and it's going to take black America to take a stand against that, because everybody else won't do it, obviously. Like always, black America is always, you talking about saving democracy, you wouldn't have a so-called democracy. It wouldn't be for black America, because the folks, they stay quiet, and all these other groups stay quiet because they benefit off of a lot of it. Or some of them are there part of their family, so they're going to stay quiet. We are the only group of people that take a stand and say something. Like always. But keep speaking up, brothers. Keep speaking up, sisters in Chicago. Go down to City Hall. Let them know you're not good. This is not it. They're not going to have business as usual while treating black folks like that. Listen, they need to understand. Look, we don't need to take no resources from black people. We need to leave them alone. We going to mess with everybody else. We not messing with black folk. because black folk will make this a worldwide movement. And you know how great we are at making things a worldwide movement. And you have people all over the world saying the exact same thing they saying in Chicago. Because trust me, Chicago isn't the only place that people are complaining about people flooding their countries like that and resources being taken away. And it's not xenophobic to say that, because they're talking about you're taking from me. You're taking money. It's no different than if I walked and grabbed money out your pocket and took it out your pocket and fed my family with it. I didn't even ask you. I'm basically stealing money from you. I'm stealing your money. I didn't even ask you to do it. I'm stealing and take it. Now, theft in this country gets you put in jail. This is theft of the taxpayer. People should be going to jail for that crap. That money, the tax dollars, are for the citizens of that city, for Americans. Not everybody else that chose to leave their homeland. They chose to do it. And the Biden administration has caused all these problems because 3 years ago, we didn't have this issue. We weren't even discussing this 3 years ago. That's why they need to get Trump back in there, man. They need Trump back. They need him back. You know how many black people I talk to say, man, we need Trump back. Man, I'm going to vote for Trump. You know how many black people saying that? They say, look, all that mess with Trump, I don't even care. We need him back, bro. They say, look, we were making a bag when Trump was in there. Trump was getting people out the paint. Man, we wouldn't have none of these problems. And you still got black people. Oh, my God. See, y'all just Republicans. Y'all just Trump supporters. And I just shake my head when I even see that. I'm like, you will literally get put in the poll house on the streets supporting Democrat. I'm so glad a lot of our people waking up. I am so proud of people waking up. I am proud of y'all waking up because y'all doing it. And then they said by next year, let me tell you another reason why Democrats in trouble. They said half of the electorate will be millennials and Gen Zs. That's why the Democrats are in trouble. And a lot of the millennials and Gen Zs believe more in the gig economy. The millennials and Gen Z, they so used to, doing things like the gig economy. A lot of them started their own businesses, and they're not going to work for no corporation for 40 and 50 years. And then when they retire, they get $100. This is a generation of quiet quitting. You understand? And the corporations are so upset with this, current generation. So that's why business creation is so important to that generation, and rightfully so, because I'm telling you from personal experience, the sky is the limit when you work for yourself. When you work for these corporations, especially as a black person, they have a glass ceiling. As a black person, it's so offensive because you can have so much education in these corporations, and somebody of the folks community could come in, not have no education. They'll make you train them. And then you look up 6 months to a year, they'll be your supervisor. Then they want to tell you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and married and all that crap, right? It's a rigged system against the black man and woman of America versus when you work for yourself, is nothing rigged at that point other than the system that's rigged against black people. But at least you're not being rigged at the job because you can get around certain rigging and sabotage definitely when you see it coming. So the younger people in this country want something different, and right on. So no. Things are different, and that's why the Democrats are in trouble. The status quo is just not going to work in this country no longer. Then you imported all these people from all these different countries. That dynamic is going to come to a head big time in this country. It's just a lot. So nobody want to hear what the Democrats are talking about. They not having nothing that we want to buy. Definitely as black folks, and more black folks are waking up every single day. But shout out to those sisters and brothers in Chicago for, taking a stand, representing our community well, saying that we fighting for us. We're not doing no coalitions. We're not doing none of that. We speaking up for ourselves. Finally, that's the only way we'll get things done as a community, is fight for ourselves, because we have no one else to fight for us but us.